This is the Samsung Galaxy S23 FE, and since its launch a few days ago, there have been mixed reactions about it on the internet. And if we're being honest, it's very easy to hate on it at first glance. Most of the reactions about it have been negative. I've even seen people saying that the Galaxy S54 is a better deal, but I beg to differ. And if you're thinking about buying this phone, check this out. Samsung phones are renowned for their great displays, and the Galaxy S23 FE lives up to that expectation. You get a flagship quality dynamic AMOLED 2X display, delivering vibrant colors and remarkable color accuracy. The 120Hz display with a resolution of 1080 by 2340 pixels is pretty much identical to what you'd find in the flagship Galaxy S23 and S23 Plus. With a peak brightness of 1450 nits, it may not quite reach flagship standards, but it surpasses most mid-range phones. The only downside here is the bezels. They are quite thick and are not pleasing to look at. But aside from that, you can't argue that it's a top-tier display. When it comes to design, this phone truly shines. Anyone can see that it draws inspiration from the premium S23 with its sleek aluminum frame and glass back, giving a premium feel. But there are a couple of changes obviously, like the flash placement at the back, and that this phone is a little bit thicker and heavier. The camera placement is basically the traditional Samsung layout we've seen on all their phones from this year. Both the display and the rear are protected by Gorilla Glass 5, offering enough durability to withstand most accidents, and the available color options look really attractive, and personally, I'd be fine with any of the colors. Furthermore, this phone is equipped with IP68 water and dust resistance, so you shouldn't be afraid to go swimming with it or using it in the rain. If you appreciate both form and function, this phone's design won't disappoint you. Now the chipset is the most talked about part of this phone. In some regions, it is powered by last year's flagship Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset, while in others, it's driven by the less popular Samsung Exynos 2200 chipset, and people are mad at this. One thing that I don't understand is that why did they include the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 instead of the 8 Plus Gen 1? It's obvious that the 8 Plus Gen 1 would have been a better fit, especially considering similarly priced competitors like the Nothing Phone 2 have it. It generally offers superior performance, and most people would have preferred it. But then again, the 8 Gen 1 is still a flagship chipset and it can basically do everything you need it to do. On the other hand, people did not like the Exynos 2200 chipset. Despite being a premium chipset, Exynos processors have a history of overheating and underperforming as compared to their counterparts. However, a YouTube channel called Ron Tech just concluded a benchmark test on the Exynos version of the S23 FE and found that it outperformed last year's S22 Ultra. And it seems like Samsung had put some effort into improving the performance. Now I know that benchmarks don't show the full picture, but they provide a pretty good estimate on how a phone will behave. In my view, the Exynos 2200 will be a solid chipset in the S23 FE. Now for the last couple of weeks, there has been a raging online debate about 60Hz on the iPhone 15, and one argument I saw was that the average user doesn't care about 60Hz. Now if the average user doesn't care about that, the average user won't care about an Exynos chipset on an even cheaper phone. Those complaining about Exynos are not average users, they are power users and should get a more powerful phone. So this phone has a triple camera system at the back. It includes a 50 megapixel main sensor with an f1.8 aperture and optical image stabilization. Complementing it is a 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens with an f2.2 aperture and 123-degree field of view, along with an 8 megapixel telephoto lens featuring an f2.4 aperture. On the front, it has a 10 megapixel selfie camera, so this is a pretty standard setup. I don't think anyone would complain with the camera performance of this phone unless you're a straight hater. The camera qualities of this phone are worth its price. The telephoto lens has 3 times optical zoom, which allows you to zoom in on subjects without losing quality. Most phones at this price range do not have a zoom lens, giving this phone an edge over its competitors. Also, the rear camera can record 8K video at 24 frames per second. Now I know 99.9% of people don't care for 8K video recording, but it doesn't hurt to have it. It can also record 4K video at 60 FPS, both on the back and the front, so expect great photo and video output overall. The Galaxy S23 comes with Android 13 and One UI 5.1 and will have 4 years of software updates, so you should expect it to reach Android 17, which is a solid number of updates. It has pretty much all features that are found on the premium Samsung phones, and you'll have the same experience just like any other S23 phone, and that brings us to Samsung DeX. This is a feature that brings a desktop-like experience to your smartphone. It works by connecting your smartphone to a bigger display such as a TV, monitor or PC, and you can mirror your phone on the biggest display. You can use it to display your phone's features on the bigger screen and use it to operate your phone. This is one feature that gives Samsung flagships an advantage over other phones, and the fact that it's on a mid-range phone is really amazing. On the battery side, it's equipped with a 4500 mAh battery, which should comfortably see you through a typical day of usage. It's a pretty average battery and you shouldn't expect an extraordinary battery performance. Charging wise, it supports 25W charging, which lags behind the competition that have super fast charging speeds. However, it redeems itself with the addition of wireless charging and reverse wireless charging, offering a notable advantage over other smartphones in this price range. At a price point of $599, I feel like it's correctly priced and has done exactly what it's supposed to do, giving some premium features at an affordable price. And I'm not saying that the $600 price is affordable, but it's certainly more affordable than the premium S23 series, which starts at $800 instead. In conclusion, the Galaxy S23 FE is a solid buy, especially if you're coming from an older phone from like 3 or 4 years ago. Its only downsides are the Exynos chipset, which is arguable, and the thicker bezels. And I believe the positives outweigh the negatives. And it puts the Galaxy F54 in a tricky position. If you are deliberating on buying the F54, skip it and pick this instead. It's more expensive, but you get more premium features. It also faces a lot of competition because the mid-range segment of 2023 is fully crowded with a lot of options available. And the fact that prices differ in different parts of the world make things even worse. You can put it between the Pixel 8 on the higher side and the Pixel 7a on the lower side, so anything in between them, from the Nothing Phone 2, Poco F5, OnePlus 11, Pixel 7 and many more. It's the most crowded segment and will majorly depend on what country you come from. So, what's your take on the Galaxy S23 FE? Do you think it's worth the hype or there are better alternatives in this competitive mid-range landscape? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, you can like, subscribe and share. I'm Milan and I'm signing out.